Well, it looks like us millennials and Gen Z folk got some homework to do because it looks like we missing out on something real, real nice. Welcome back, y'all, to the DeAndre Way. We got some new special effects, as y'all can see. I've been working hard trying to enhance the channel uh, and make it better for y'all as well. Make sure if you like this video to like this video and become a member to only $5 a month if you want to support our brother in his endeavors. And make sure to subscribe as well as always because we gonna keep it going. We got a lot of cool things coming on. We got some new things coming soon. Y'all have to see and find out. And yeah, but yeah, we gonna get into it, y'all. We saw the movie. We were talking about the movie Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, Axel F. Sorry, and it was a great movie. I've never seen the old Beverly Hills Cops movies before. Those were like in the '80s and the '90s. I was very not even born for some of them, and the one I was born for, I wasn't even old enough to comprehend what the hell was going on. So, these movies have predated myself, but I enjoyed it. Eddie Murphy, anything with Eddie Murphy in it, I think is gold. He doesn't really ever flop. I can't really name too many Eddie Murphy flop movies. He took the cake in this movie. His jokes, his banter, his timing, everything with him on point. It just Eddie Murphy's the one where I'm just like, you can't do no wrong. You can't do no wrong with it. But uh, but yeah. So this movie I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what happened in the prior movies. I'd heard about Beverly Hills Cop before. I heard the theme song. I didn't know that was the theme song for Beverly Hills Cop. So I was lost in the sauce, y'all. So forgive me for not knowing all the things behind this movie. I'm gonna have to go watch one, two, and three now. And I can't believe they made this 30-ish years after the third movie. Like that's crazy to me. But and it didn't have a really. I think it had a 1 day theatrical release, but they pretty much just threw this thing out on Netflix right on Fourth of July. So I think this movie would have done good at box office. This is not the type of movie that's gonna win any awards. It's not gonna win an Oscar. It's not gonna do none of that stuff. But it is a quality watch. It's about an hour, 45, 50 minutes, and it, it has good moments throughout the movie. It's smooth running. There's a few things I was a little bit confused about, but for the most part, I had a good time watching it. And yeah, y'all, let's we gonna break it down. But before we break it down, we gonna go through the cast list real quick and see who is on this cast. So obviously, Eddie Murphy, leading title man. He returns as a non-technically Beverly Hills Cop himself, and this is on TheWrap.com. Talking about the characters, Axel Foley in this film, Murphy is obviously a legend, but his most recent project before Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, came at the end of last year when he starred in Prime Video's Candy Cane Lane. I haven't seen Candy Cane Lane, so maybe I need to check out Candy Cane Lane. I ain't seen it. We'll get to Detective Bobby, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This dude, he was cool in the movie. I liked him. He definitely kept things going in a good way. It was a nice. He did a good job to me. Bobby Abbott is an actual officer of the Beverly Hills Police Department, but he's not the same kind of cop Axel has previously encountered in his work with the station. That's because he's a millennial. He's played by 500 Days of Summer and 10 Things I Hate About You actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I ain't seen neither of those movies, so this dude's brand new to me. We continue. Jane Saunders, Taylor Page. That's how she spells her name. Interesting. Okay. Her name might not immediately give it away, but Jane Saunders is actually Axel Foley's daughter, albeit his very estranged daughter. So I don't know if in the old movies that they even mentioned her or something like that. So I'm gonna have to go check those out to see what's going on because there was a lot missing. I mean, she's about 30 years old, so the last movie came out 30 years ago, so we don't get any like specifics context on why she hates him besides the fact that he wasn't there. Why wasn't he there? He was doing his job. Was he paying for the roof over her head? Now you can't use money to pay for child's happiness and loving. It has to be like a give and take, but I don't know. It was a lot. But you might recognize Taylor Page as the actress who plays Jane as Asha Hayes from the series Hit the Floor. I haven't seen that. Or from her roles including Zola, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Mac and Rita. I have not heard of any of those. Oh, yeah, I haven't heard none of those. But we continue. She did a good job too. She was I wanted a little bit more emotion, like a little bit more, like when the scary parts where she was just freaking out, she seemed a little guarded at certain points when I thought she should have just like let go, but maybe that's just her character. Anyways, we continue. Billy Rosewood, Judge Reinhold. Axel Foley isn't the only return in this film. Billy Rosewood is back too, played once again by Judge. That's a cold name. Reinhold. Outside of the Beverly Hills Cop series, he's most commonly recognized for his roles in Fast Times at Ridgemont High and The Santa Claus. I ain't heard of those movies. Yeah, I ain't heard of none of these movies none of these people been in. This dude was in the previous movies. So, you got to bring back the old cast if you're doing a trilogy. Well, what would you call this? A qualogy? Quadogy? I don't know what comes after trilogy, but yeah, he's coming back. He was cool. He was like not even in a ton of the movie. He was like in the beginning and then gone for the most, and you see him again at the end. He was a little comic relief at the end as well, breaking up the monotony of things. Didn't really do a whole bunch. Was kind of just there. He got kidnapped and they rescued him. Cool dude. I don't know if he just came for the check because he's kind of forgettable, low key. But we'll continue. John Taggart, John Ashton. So I recognize this dude. John Taggart is another familiar face here, returning from Axel F. After not being in Beverly Hills Cop 3. He's an ally to Axel at the BHPD, and once again played by some kind of wonderful in Midnight Run star John Ashton. I ain't seen those movies either, but I definitely recognize this dude's face. He's been in something I've seen. I'll have to look it up, but he was good. I like this dude. He's the kind of the Eggman boss, the hard honcho who's like a grouch, but he wants his way or the highway. He's not going to apologize for nothing he's doing. He's not gonna mince any words with people. He's not gonna take accountability for nothing either. So that's the bad part. But stereotypical role. Cool to see the people coming back for the movies, even if I have not seen them myself. We continue. Deputy Chief Jeffrey Friedman, Paul Reisner. Of course, it's not just Beverly Hills based characters that show up in Axel F. Axel's Detroit man, Jeffrey Friedman, is here too, played by Mad About You and staple Paul Reiser. One of his bigger roles as of late was Dr. Sam Owens in Stranger Things. So, this dude was in Stranger Things. See, I didn't watch Stranger Things. I watched a few episodes. I watched the last episode. Don't kill me, y'all. So I don't really know this dude either. But he was cool. He definitely was kind of forgettable to me. Not nothing too much to go about this dude. I mean, he was just another guy to me. So we're gonna continue. Sarge Bonson Peachot, I can't even say it. Sarge didn't make it to Beverly Hills Cop 2, but he's back once again for Axel F. Played him by Bronson Pinchot. You might recognize the actor from Risky Business or recently Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. He was like the dude that was showing the house, and he didn't have a ton of lines or a ton of dialogue or anything like that. I might have to watch the old movies to kind of really get his essence. I feel like he was a pretty funny character back in those ones. This one, he was trying to be like funny, but I just didn't get the jokes per se, and I didn't get the humor, so I could skip on him. And Cade Grant, I believe this is the last principal actor. Kevin Bacon. If you don't know who Kevin Bacon is, I know who Kevin Bacon is now. Y'all don't even know who that is. But Eddie Murphy and Kevin Bacon are both legends, but somehow have never worked together until Axel F. Bacon is best known for his Footloose character, of course, and plays the new police captain at BHPD who naturally butts head with Axel Foley and his methods. So, Kevin Bacon know how to be an enemy. He know how to be the antagonist. He know how to be the villain. And he's got so many titles under his belt to where I mean, it would have been undue diligence for him not to be in this movie. I'm a fan of his. I like his work. He came through in the clutch. He really gives that sinister look to where he ain't messing no business, and you just hate this dude. Like I hated him. I mean, I love the tactics he was using because he wasn't playing no games, but he should have, he didn't get the business taken care of. So I'm gonna go through the movie and what kind of I thought about the whole thing. So we get the people reprising their roles. I like that in these movies, kind of like movies come back from far away when they did Star Wars. They brought some of the old actors back for the new ones. When they did, I don't know, they be reprising a lot of new movies nowadays, and I just get lost with the sauce with all of them. But you get my point. It's good to have the people back, but I think it's also good to have a fresh batch of new people because think about this. This is one thing I do got an issue with. You bring all these old actors back. That's cool. But these actors were once new actors. They were once new. In the 80s, like, that's when a lot of them were starting up, the ones that were reprising their role. Don't you think you should bring some new people to the fold? They brought the girl and they brought the other dude. Um, what's his name? They brought James, Joseph, they brought Detective Bobby Abbott and Jane Saunders. Those are kind of like newcomers. But I think we just need like a little bit extra spice, just a little bit, you know? Bring the old age back with the new age, blend it together. You'll have a masterpiece. I just think they kind of catered to the older crowd for this movie, which is fine. You know, there's no issue with that, but I would have just liked to see some more new blood in the picture. They kept playing the intro song. They kept playing the theme song throughout the whole thing in different accompaniments. So like they sometimes had it going on in violin and sometimes piano and sometimes a cello. I don't know, but it was playing a lot. And I get it's the theme song, but y'all was like overdoing it just a little bit with it, just a little bit, you know. I get it. I think you should save it at the beginning, maybe once in the middle and at the end. It was like every single scene they was playing this theme song. I'm just like, y'all, we get it. It's a classic, but come on now. I kept thinking I was like tripping because I kept hearing the same song and melody over and over and over again. Um, but yes, it was a lot. So they pretty much put a lot of onus on Detroit in this movie. I mean, Eddie Murphy's wearing a Lions jacket most of the film. They're at the Red Wings game. They're they have Big Sean playing when the dude at the beginning scene when the dude's in the truck after the guys robbed the hockey team's locker room. He's playing Big Sean in his headphones. You can't really hear it that well. I just had the captions on so I could see it. But yeah, they really shouting out Detroit, and this was just like, wow, like this is called Beverly. I thought this was called Beverly Hills Cop, not Detroit Cop. I was confused. Somebody who hasn't seen the previous movies, I was lost at the beginning with all the Detroit this, Detroit that, just putting it in front, like really product placement. I was, I didn't, I don't know if they got to deal with the city or something like that, but it caught me off guard. And so the police chase was good. I did like that action part where the daughter almost gets, well, not the daughter, when the dudes get caught up. I mean, it's one of those classic beginning scenes that's going to catch your eye, catch your attention. I think these are great, especially for new watchers who don't know what's going on and you get this big action scene from the top. That's good. And it has all the elements of kind of like a 90s 2000s scene. So I like that they kept that element in there. It really showed the essence of like what the actual film was about. So those things were really good. They threw a lot of Easter eggs in there as well. I didn't catch all of them because obviously I didn't see the old movies. But um, but yeah, after the police chase, they catch the after the police chase and they go out to LA and we see the daughter. She almost gets killed by hanging a hanging car outside of a parking lot. Like the car fell out the parking lot. She be getting jumped a lot. It's like a damsel in distress. I mean, she gets jumped there. She gets jumped in the middle. She gets jumped at the. She be getting jumped the whole movie, and she's stubborn too. So I'm like, what's going on? This is like a reoccurring theme again and again and again. Damsel in distress. I thought I was playing Mario for a sec, Super Mario. When you do the same thing again and again and again, it's kind of predictable. I had a feeling she was going to get kidnapped at the end, and then she's acting all cocky at the end and not even scared. I just thought that was a little bit unbelievable, but eh, a little just a cliche. But I digress. And so I thought a funny part in the car chase. So when he gets the golf cart, not the golf cart, the police golf cart looking thing. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. When the black lady, she's like, "You can't take this cart. You ain't doing nothing." He drives off, and she's still on there, and she pepper sprays him with mace for like I don't know 30 seconds. Classic. And then he droves her off. Like that was gold, gold. I always appreciate the little the subtlety of these comedic moments in thriller scenes because that kind of brings things. It keeps the essence of the movie going. Like if it was just serious during those scenes, it would be kind of off. But when you keep it like that, especially having Eddie Murphy there too, can't go wrong with that. And so yeah, they get the, but the, this police car mini police car chasing, where he's riding down the stairs, almost crashed. There's a lot of they love the visual of them almost crashing into people. I was waiting for somebody to get hit, but nobody got hit in the whole movie by a car, which is crazy. Like the first scene, that middle scene, and then any other scene, nobody got hit by a car, which is even the car when the car drove into or the U-Haul drove into the house, nobody got hit. They just love seeing people dive out the way from a car. But it was a good scene, by the way. I was just saying that it was just a classic scene. That's all I'm gonna keep it. It was classic. They had, and then the two officers that arrested him, I was like, hold up, I don't see no police officers looking like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The two lady cops. I was like, hold up, shawty. Damn, I don't see some cops like that. that was something else. I mean, maybe in Beverly Hills, but maybe I got to go check it out for myself. I've been to Beverly Hills and I ain't never seen no cops like that. I just thought I'd note that out. And so the daughter gets really upset because Foley was not around. Apparently, he stopped trying to be a father to her. We don't get complete specific details of what went down besides he wasn't there, he wasn't a father, this, that, and the third. I wish we got some like flashbacks. I think that would have helped with context. She was just so mad, and it's like I get a lot of little things can happen, and then they build up, and you just have this animosity. But for context, I just wish we really got like the bulk, like the mom. Like I don't know what happened to the mom. If she's so mad, then how she like the successful grown up adult, I think he had something to do with it. So I was lost on the whole like I hate you forever and you just never there. And then she, what happens sometimes is with parents and kids is like the kid will go crazy at the parent and the parent can give up. They're like, I can't do anything else. Maybe it's better if I do step away. And he did that, and she gets mad about that. So you're mad about him trying, and then you're mad about him not trying. I thought that was stupid. I'm like, pick a poison, or pick a what's the word? I'll just say pick a poison. I'm forgetting the right word, but yeah, just pick a battle. Like you want to do. Pick a victimized circumstance, and she was all over the place, y'all. I didn't really care for that. I just hate you part of it. They had some nice touches when they put the parking tickets on the rental car when he shows up after his daughter gets done grilling him. Yes, because they be ticketing like crazy, especially out there and in New York. Keeping the realism. I love the realism in that part. Uh, they do, and they also give a nice touch when he's checking into the hotel after she kicks him out the car, and they're like, "It's $940 a night." That's facts. That might even be on the low end for that type of hotel he was at, because these LA hotels don't play. I've never stayed in an LA hotel, but I've seen the prices. When they get to the mansion with the white girl in the pink dress, she makes a funny joke about her kid being oh yeah, yeah. So when we meet the fashion designer dude from the old movies, fashion designer looking dude, real estate agent. I don't really know what these people's titles are. Maybe I missed it, but she's I like that lady. She was one of my favorite people too. She was giving it. She's like, my kid's a loser because he got glasses, and I already know like he sucks. And that's that's the type of humor I love. That she needed more screen time, man. They did her dirty, man. She just should have been more lines, more screen time, more everything. And so apparently Jane shut Axel out of her life, and he wouldn't fight it hard for her. I already said that. Core issues. So they're going to the Spanish club where they're singing. They get to the Spanish club. Axel and the daughter's ex boyfriend/boyfriend, and they get to the club, and this Spanish dude who looked like Jabba the Hutt, is singing "Man Eater" in Spanish by Hall and Oates. I thought that was priceless, y'all. I need to go to a Spanish club to see if they're actually doing English songs in Spanish and karaoke, because I would be cracking up the whole time. I mean, that was. I wanted to see the whole performance because he's sitting back in his chair singing the song. Like, that was good. There's a lot of nice, like I said, throughout the movie, there's a lot of nice touches, and it keeps the energy light when things kind of get deep, because that's the essence probably of the old movies. I like that they're keeping it consistent. And so when Foley gets locked up and arrested, he escapes the cell a very clever way by pretending he went up the vent but secretly hiding. That was clever too. I thought he went up the vent. I'm like, there's no way. I was about to say the realism went out the window for me if he went up the vent with handcuffs on his back. But that was smart. That was pretty smart. I might have to put that in my pocket in case I get into a situation. And he slid the chair underneath and knocked old boy out. They get the classic roof scene where they get on the. Okay, I knew there was gonna be a roof scene. There's a roof scene in every kind of like movie like this when they escape and see the helicopter, and the dude has like PTSD because he's like, last time I flew a helicopter, I crashed, so he can't even. That was just like we didn't get any context behind that either. Like he's like, last time I flew it, I crashed, but it's like, bruh, like that was just so random, and it didn't even. I guess it added an extra action scene or whatever, but that whole scene was just kind of silly with him not being able to fly the helicopter. I thought that was some Disney Plus stuff. I thought it just didn't make any sense. Like we get it that you crashed, but you acting like you never have drove a helicopter, flew a helicopter before. And the ending of the scene, it was just like that whole scene was kind of pointless. I'm not gonna lie, nothing really came of it to me. Um, yeah, they could have did that, but they crashed in the golf cart, and then that I guess they were able to get away. That's the whole thing, but they could have just flew out, got away at the same time. When X communicated that or X exiled that whole little scene, but I don't know. Maybe they said we need a roofed helicopter comedy action thriller scene. Who knows? But yeah, they finesse the golf when they land or crash. They finesse the golfer and the caddy to go check it out, and they take the golf cart. So just more kind of like the hit and run aspects, Tom and Jerry tactics that you keep seeing going on. They got Avion Crockett in this movie. Now, if you don't know who Avion Crockett is, you need to go check him out. Comedian, very funny dude. Uh, been on Wildin' Out a lot. I've seen his stand-up routines. He only gave him like a small part, but his role, like he killed his little role. I wish he got to be more in it, but like I was happy to see Avion Crockett in there because that's the only dude like I recognize from the movie besides Eddie Murphy off the and Kevin Bacon off the bat. Um, and he was, I was look, he was doing the code like, look, we on the same code, right? You got me, and he wasn't on it, and I be doing the same thing when I be trying to go do some things. I'm like, look, we good, right? And my other brother be like, sometimes he don't be on it. And I'm just like, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? If we ain't got this, then what we got? Nothing. But great scene. When they crash the truck into the house, it's funny that the guy with the headphones. Oh yeah, the guy with the headphones is paying attention. I just thought that was funny that he wasn't looking. And the details they use with the gunfights, shooting different. So with these gunfights, kept it realistic. These other movies I've been watching, you watching my other recaps. These other movies need to take note. They keep the things realistic. When these people getting shot, they're getting shot not just in the head or in the chest. They're getting shot like in the arm or the leg. One time a guy got shot in the leg, he fell to the ground, and then they got shot in the head. Like that's so much more realistic than everybody just getting headshot, 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 headshot. This ain't Call of Duty, man. Like you not a level 5 sniper. But that was like the first, I think, one of the first realistic gunfight scenes I've seen in a while. So kudos to that. And it's funny, you know, it's funny when the guy with the machine. Oh yeah, yeah. So they always get all these movies too. This is one quarrel. They always give the bad guys the machine guns, always, but they don't ever hit nothing. They got hundreds and hundreds of rounds, but they miss every single shot. But the guys with the pistols get every shot. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, bruh, just give the machine gun thing up. Like it's played out. I think. I mean, the amount of movies I've seen with machine guns and they never hit anyone. I've never seen a movie where someone just gets blasted by a machine gun and that's it. The only thing I think I've seen is Euphoria, when the police get jump. What's his face at the end in the bathtub? I forget his name, and they light him up. Other than that, I ain't seen it. And yes, the strategy of teaching her how to get out of handcuffs eventually helps her because she got out the handcuffs and she was able to escape. And she was, you know, she learned that. He was a good father. I'm glad she was paying attention, but didn't show much. They didn't mention that either. Like after, like, thanks for helping me. That and he's like, what? He could have said. She could have said sorry. She could have got out of it, and then later, like when they're at the end scene when they're eating, she'd be like, thanks for the help in there. He's like, no problem. And she's like, oh, I meant before you were there. And he would have said, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, I got out the handcuffs. Thanks for showing me how to get out the handcuffs. Or some kind of witty line to get out of that. I thought that would have been nice. but she still seemed kind of ungrateful at the end. Low key, low key. But yeah, y'all, that was a movie. I'd give this movie for what it is, and me not seeing the last three. I'll give it an eight. I'll give it an eight. I give it an eight. Eddie Murphy took it over the top for me. It was interesting to watch. They did a lot of promo in New York for this movie in LA. They got billboards, posters, flyers, ads everywhere, and bringing all these older actors back for this fourth installment of the series. They did it justice for this for the new people like me who watching it for the first time because now I'm interested to see how everything got started. So, yeah, good movie. Check it out, y'all. It's on Netflix, brand new. And let me know what you think in the comments. Peace, y'all. Thank you for joining, or thank you for watching. And I will see y'all next time. Peace, blessings, and have a wonderful rest of your day.